I want to discuss some very important things with you for you to consider. Let's talk about the impacts on Alberta by pulling the plug on BC for our exports and our imports to try as a means to force BC into accepting our needed pipeline. Alberta exports approximately 554 million of fresh and frozen beef and veal to BC. Alberta also exports leather to BC as well. According to the latest trade data from Statistics Canada that I can find, Alberta exported 83.7 million in grain and other crop products to BC. Alberta also exports to BC non-alcoholic food and beverage exports of 1.3 billion in trade. Alberta also is an exporter of oil and gas to BC. Alberta exports 3.2 billion in refined petroleum products and 1.3 billion in fossil fuels to BC. In 2016, it was reported that Alberta's exports to China, Japan, and the rest of Asia totaled 5.7 billion. Alberta is a major exporter, but as a landlocked province, we rely on transportation links across the province of BC to ports in Vancouver and Prince Rupert to get our grain, manufactured food, and chemical products out to the world. Any party who suggests to us that as a means to fix our pipeline problems is to shut off the taps to BC is clearly not thinking. Shutting off our exports would cripple our Alberta province totally in all of our industries we have left. We need all our industries to get us out of the debt and survive the recession the NDP has put us in. Alberta cannot afford what this would do to us for the long term or even the short term. Shutting off the tap to BC is not a viable answer to getting our pipelines built. Cutting off the payments to Ottawa and demanding to have the same rights as Quebec is our viable answer to our financial mess and pipeline issues, along with working with the BC government and the Aboriginal BC communities who also want and need our pipelines rather than bowing to the paid protesters extremists like the NDP has done, will do wonders to get our pipelines in the ground and benefiting both Alberta and BC alike. Now let's take a look at what we import from BC. Alberta is a big importer of BC power. All of us Albertans have already experienced huge power bills in the last couple of months. Without the ability to import BC power, we will see a major jump in the cost of our power, not to mention besides what a shortage would do to us. Alberta imported $3.3 billion worth of natural gas in 2014 from the latest trade figures available. People up in northern Lacrete and area had already faced what a shortage did when their homes and businesses ran out of natural gas to heat them in the coldest times of our last 2 winters. What is going to happen when we shut off our imports of natural gas we require from BC? Or if BC chooses to shut them off in retaliation? It does not take rocket science to figure out that shutting off the taps to BC, as the NDP, UCP, Liberal, or Alberta Party are suggesting as the means to getting our pipelines built, clearly do not have Alberta's best interest at heart. Shutting off the taps to BC to get our pipelines built is going to cause us more harm than good, and it's not going to get our pipelines built either. I am asking for your vote as the FCP candidate in the Peace River riding area to become your MLA advocate in the legislature. I am asking for the opportunity to advocate and vote that we do not harm our other industries and people of Alberta by shutting off the taps to BC as a means to trying to get our pipelines built. I want to advocate and vote to build our pipelines without devastating any other industry we have. And I believe this is possible to do when one actually wants to build a pipeline. Please consider All of this when you cast your vote. Thank you.